Let's talk about the advantages of having a native English accent. First and foremost, if you ask me, I think the greatest upside is that it is incredibly cool and you will also sound more natural and fancier as well. Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm Dai, teacher from Weset English Center. Many students have asked me if it's necessary to speak English with a native accent. So today I want to share my thoughts about one of the most frequently debated topics when it comes to speaking English. Is it important or necessary to speak English with a native accent? Well, in my opinion, the short answer is no. However, there is much more to this matter, and I'm going to get deeper into this topic to further explain why I think so, and also tell you about the advantages and disadvantages of picking up a native English accent. Alright, first let me tell you the definition of accent. So, accent is a way in which people from a particular area, country or social group pronounce words. So for example, people from the US will speak with American accents and people from Australia will speak with Australian accents, etc. As far as I understand, accent consists of two factors: pronunciations and intonation. Therefore, in order to get a native accent, you will have to get both of them perfectly on a native level, which is too challenging of a task. And the question is it that necessary to put out your efforts? Let's find out. Let's talk about the advantages of having a native English accent. First and foremost, if you ask me, I think the greatest upside is that it is incredibly cool and you will also sound more natural and fancier as well. What could possibly be better than sounding like a native person when speaking their language? Well, in fact, it is not your first language but your second or third language. Secondly, if you speak with a native accent, native speakers will tend to be more open when speaking to you as you sound like one of them. And I believe this open attitude will certainly lead to easier communication. Those advantages mentioned above would definitely help you enormously. However, it does come with a cost. The biggest downside to it is that it takes too much effort. You will need to spend countless hours dedicating yourself to imitating the accent. Then you will have to practice and try to force your mouth to produce the sounds that you are not accustomed to until you become comfortable making those sounds. If your foreign accent is not too strong and your pronunciation is clear enough that you can communicate with others without any problems, acquiring a native accent won't be very beneficial to you. When you can already make yourself understood well, then learning a native accent doesn't add much but to make you sound fancier. Therefore, the difficulties you need to overcome to achieve it outweigh the benefits it brings. And even then, not everybody can get a native accent. To my humble knowledge, there are two major ways in which you can acquire a native accent. So you either live in a country where people speak the language natively and acquire their accents naturally through immersion, or you will need to be born with talent for learning accents. Now, let's be honest, the former option sounds much more plausible than the latter, because I don't think being born with a specific set of talents is something you can have control over. And yes, if you yearn to speak English with a native accent, then it should be picked up from natural acquisition, such as an international workplace or studying environment. Or it could be from your personal interest, like listening or watching English contents. Only then picking up an accent would be interesting and motivating rather than arduous. But hey, there's nothing wrong with speaking English with a slight foreign accent that you carried over from your mother tongue. It's a part of your identity after all. You can totally have a good pronunciation without having a native accent. This means that you can keep your accent from your first language and speak English with that accent as long as it's not too strong. In other words, it's completely fine to speak English with a light foreign accent. My advice is work on your pronunciation until it's good enough that it won't be a barrier when you communicate with others. Focus on learning how to pronounce the sounds that you don't have in your native language, like vowels, ending sounds, and consonant clusters. Once you have mastered pronunciation, work on your intonation and fluency as well, knowing when to raise or lower your voice and which words to stress on to accurately express your feelings and emotion while speaking will help your speech sound much more fluent. Then polish your grammar. Work on how you conduct and deliver your ideas, and your English proficiency will greatly improve. And that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.